Vasudeva. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto the Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Śrīla Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namaha Pankaja Nabhaya Namaha Pankaja Maline Namaha Pankaja Netraya Namaste Pankajangriye Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Akinchana Vittaya Nivritta Gunavrittaye Atmaramaya Shantaya Kevalye Pataye Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining. We are reading Granth-raj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 14, entitled The System of the Universal Management. And we read till text number 7 last time. So we were discussing that how these different positions like Indra, like the Rishis, like the Manus, etc., have been given to various qualified personalities, and all of these are managing the show. But under whose direction? If you remember, that was the question of Maharaj Parikshit, and Shukdev Goswami so nicely mentioned that they are working under the direction of the Supreme Lord and his different incarnations like the Manvantar, Avatar, etc. So we read till text number 7. Let's continue with the next verse, text number 8. Okay. Text number 8. Jnanam chanuyugam brute harihi siddha swarupadhrik rishi rupa dhara karma yogam yogesha rupadhrik. Translation by His Divine Grace. Actually, we read till text 6. But anyways, I started this, so we'll come back to 7. This is text 8. Sorry about the confusion, but we'll come back to 7. I'm reading text 8 now. In every yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, assumes the form of siddhas such as Sanaka to preach transcendental knowledge. He assumes the form of great saintly persons such as Yajna Valkya to teach the way of karma, and he assumes the form of great yogis such as Dattatreya to teach the system of mystic yoga. Purport: for the benefit of all human society, not only does the Lord assume the form of Manu as an incarnation to rule the universe properly, but he also assumes the form of a teacher, yogi, jnani, and so on, for the benefit of the human society. The duty of human society, therefore, is to accept the path of action enunciated by the Supreme Lord. In the present age, the sum and substance of all the Vedic knowledge is to be found in the Bhagavad Gita, which is personally taught by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the same Supreme Person, assuming the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, expands the teachings of Bhagavad Gita all over the world. In other words, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is so kind and merciful to human society that he is always anxious to take the fallen souls back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So, what could be a better verse than this to, especially after Advaita Acharya's appearance yesterday? And that's the whole reason the Lord comes through his different expansions or incarnations, or through his different devotees or bona fide representatives. Why? To spread the dharma, Acharya, Advaita Acharya, to teach by his own example how to practice the path of Krishna consciousness. To teach by his own example. That's why the Lord comes. Lord Chaitanya, why does he come? To teach by his own example. He comes in the guise of a devotee. Although he's the Supreme Lord, Nityanand Prabhu is personally going door to door, dware dware giya. Why? To teach by his own example that all of us should also share this message of Krishna consciousness door to door. So, in short, the Lord is coming. And in Bhagavad Gita also it is said, although there is no karma for the Lord is above all these karma. But still he does. Why? To teach by his own example. Why did Lord Ram, act like an ordinary human being? To teach by his own example how to be an ideal son, ideal husband, ideal brother, ideal king, ideal devotee, and in so many ways, teaching by his own example. Why? Because he is so anxious. The last line of the purport: the Supreme Personality of God, Lord Hari, is so kind and merciful to the human society that he's always anxious to take the fallen souls back home, back to God. So we are anxious, I'm anxious how to get a better job, how to get more money, how to get this, how to get that. But just think about the Lord and his pure devotees are anxious how to take the fallen souls back home, back to Godhead. That is their anxiety, spiritual anxiety. What was Prabhupada's anxiety? Most people come to US to get something, to get a job or get some green card or get this or citizenship or a better standard of life, whatnot. But what did Prabhupada come here for? Prabhupada come here to take the fallen souls back home, back to Godhead. So that's the mood of Krishna, and that's the mood of his pure devotees. So spiritual anxiety. The Lord is anxious. We always think the Lord is Nityananda, but this is spiritual anxiety. Any other comments? Any additions? Anyone wants to add or share? Bhavaluntana. In one of the prayers of King Kulashekar Alvar, he says that Lord is one of his name is Bhavaluntana Kovideti. That means that he is expert in picking up the fallen souls from this Bhavasagar, in taking them back from this Bhavasagar, back home, back to Godhead. And I'll share an interesting story about His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Most of you may have seen the sannyasi staff danda, tridanda, at least from outside, wrapped with saffron cloth. So mostly Maharaj does not carry, but sometimes he carries that. So one time he was carrying, and it was in a Western country, I don't know, like Europe or America somewhere. And over there, people are not familiar with what is this thing, especially it has a curved, small, there are three big dandas called tridanda. Then there is a small curved danda. So the three dandas represents body, mind, and words, kaya, vacha, manasa. And the bent stick represents the atma. So everything in the service of the Lord, body, mind, words, and atma. So nonetheless, this lady came and asked, well, looks like you're carrying a fishing rod. She asked, out of innocence, she didn't know what is this thing, and people in the West do fishing, and she asked, looks like you're carrying a fishing rod. And Maharaj, being so witty and spontaneous, said, yes. He quoted in the Bible to relate to that person. And we were talking about the other day also how to relate to the other person. He immediately quoted from Bible and said, yes, this is like a fishing rod to fish the people out of this sufferings of the material world and take them back home, back to Godhead. So I really like that story. And so we should also, Lord is very expert, pure devotees are expert. We should also try to follow and help as far as possible to the best of our body, mind, and words. Try to help take some of the anxiety of the Lord, take some of the anxiety of Srila Prabhupada, because that means a disciple, right? To take the anxiety of Kṛṣṇa, to take the anxiety of Guru or the Father, right? Spiritual master, like a father, spiritual father. That means to be a disciple. That the spiritual master will feel that, oh, he or she is nicely taking spiritual anxiety. The Lord will be very happy, Guru will be very happy, and Yasmin Tushta Jagat Tushta. Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasada. If Guru is pleased, Kṛṣṇa is pleased. Kṛṣṇa is pleased, everyone is pleased. So, any other comments anyone has? Okay, since we missed text 7, so we can read 7 and then move on. Would someone like to read this one? Prabir Prabhu, you want to read?
Devotees, Dandavat Pranam Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. Text 7. Indra Bhagavata Dattam Troilakya Sriyam Ujjitam Bhunjanapoti Lokam Stvin Kamam Loke Pravashati. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. Translation. Indra, King of Heaven, receiving benedictions from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus enjoying highly developed opulences, maintains the living entities all over the three worlds by pouring sufficient rain on all the planets. Hare Krishna. So here Srila Prabhupada is saying the role of Indra. He gets the benedictions and then benedictions from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then he dropped this, or he spread this, delivered this benediction to all over the three worlds through the rain. And we know that by rain, when the rain is happening, then the grass, the trees, they give lots of fruits and everything. And then the farmers, they can do their farming, and whatever they offer it to Lord. So it's kind of like a reciprocation everywhere. Like Lord is giving the benedictions to Indra. Indra is not enjoying that by himself, but he is giving that benedictions to the whole world. And the people in the world, whatever they are getting from that, they are offering it to the Lord again. So actually that was the Vedic system before. Here, actually Shukdev Goswami is saying. Hare Krishna Prabhu, back to you. Please add or correct.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So nicely Prabhuji mentioned, Prabhupada is clearly mentioning receiving benedictions from the Supreme Lord. So all the demigods, including Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Surya, etc., whom are they receiving the benedictions which they may be empowered to give? From the Supreme Lord. So we should never forget that there are like hundreds and thousands and millions of demigods like Indra, and Indra is a host. So they are receiving the benedictions from the Supreme Lord. And the Govardhan Leela is a classic example of the story of Indra and how Indra felt that no, I can control. I am the real controller. And then Krishna taught a wonderful lesson by teaching who's the real controller. So, and then those demigods who are like devotees, they are sharing those with the masses. But they are like just like traders, we can say. They are receiving from the Supreme Lord and then passing it on. One should not forget ultimately who is the root cause of all the benedictions. He is Varadraj, one who is the king of all the benedictions, the one who grants all the benedictions to all the everyone is the Supreme Lord Kṛṣṇa. Okay, anything else? Anyone? Okay, let's read the next verse, text number 9. Someone like to read who has not read throughout this week? So it's Friday today. Anyone who has not got a chance to read? Sampada Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sargam Prajesa Rupena Dasyun Hanyat Swarat Vapuhu Kala Rupena Sarvesham Abhavaya Prathag Gunaha. Translation. In the form of Prajapati Marichi, the Supreme Personality of Godhead creates progeny, becoming the king. He kills the thieves and rogues, and in the form of time, he annihilates everything. All the different qualities of material existence should be understood to be qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you. Back to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. So ultimately, he is the supreme cause. He is the supreme creator, the supreme maintainer, the supreme annihilator, and his energies are unlimited, his expansions are unlimited, his activities are unlimited. Everything is unlimited. So he expands in unlimited forms, here mentioned as Marichi, in the previous verse mentioned as the Gyanis and Yogis and whatnot. So, okay. Mataji, you want to read or share or tell something?
I can read, Prabhu, if you have time.
Sure, Mataji, please.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dandat pranam devotees, everyone. Hare Krishna. Stuyamano janerbhir mayaya namarupaya vimohitatma binarnana darshanena nainarcha drushyate. Translation by His Divine Grace and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. People in general are bewildered by the illusory energy, and therefore they try to find the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, through various types of research and philosophical speculation. Nonetheless, they are unable to see the Supreme Lord. Purport. Whatever actions and reactions take place for the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the material world are actually brought about by the one Supreme Person. There are many varieties of philosophers trying to search for the ultimate cause under different names and forms, but they are unable to find the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, who explains in Bhagavad Gita that he is the origin of everything and the cause of all causes. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. This inability is due to the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. Devotees therefore accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as He is and remain happy simply by chanting the glories of the Lord. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you, Dandavats.
You want to share, Mataji, anything?
That holy name is the real solace, and there is this one famous very good Vaishnava, good-hearted Vaishnava in Vrindavan. And one time, one of these ISKCON devotees, she was a little sick, so she was having darshan, and she said, "I don't know which doctor I should go to," and all that. He said, "Naam karo, bas naam karo," and she really took it to the heart, and she was fine afterwards. So, she really remembered this instruction that no matter what, take shelter of the holy name, and that's all I want to add, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. We were reading this morning also Maya Javanika Channam Agyadhokshajam Avyayam Na Lakshase Mura Disha Nato Natye Dharo Yatha. Kind of very similar words here. That people in general, bewildered by the illusory energy, they try to find the Supreme Lord. Nonetheless, they are unable to see the Lord. Why? Because they are covered with the curtain of illusory energy. Kunti Maharani says this in her prayer, Canto 1, Chapter 8. So, in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says this, Avajananti ma'amura manushim tanam ashrita param bhavam ajananto mamabhuta ishvaram. Basically, foolish people cannot understand. And who are foolish? Those who are covered with the illusory energy. Those who think I, me, mine, my family, have no interest in self-realization, no interest in Bhagavad Gita, no interest in Bhagavatam, no interest in chanting, no interest in understanding what's the real goal of life. Is there a higher purpose? What is this human form of life meant for? Just busy in one's own concoctions and speculations. Those people cannot see the Lord. So, and how can we see? By opening our eyes, or actually the spiritual master and the guru open the eyes and cut off this noose of material energy, or cut off this illusion of material energy. Then we can see Krishna. Then we can see things in the true perspective, and without that, it's impossible. Anyone else has any other comments? Okay, one last verse. I think Lakshya Prabhu wants to read, so we'll read this one.
Etat kalpa vikalpasya ramanam parikirtitam yatra manva taranya ahus katudasa pura vidha. In one translation, in one kalpa or one day of Brahma, there take place the many changes called vikalpas. O king, all these have been previously described to you by me. Learned scholars who know the past, present, and future have ascertained that is one day of Brahma, there are 14 manus. Purport. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th canto, 14th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam.
Thank you so much, Lakshay Prabhu. So this is kind of a concluding verse. A lot of changes happening in one kalpa. So what are these changes being referred to? Anyone? Right, the Manus are changing, right? The 14 Manus are changing. The Rishis are changing. Indras are changing. It's like an election is happening, re-election every Manvantar. So these are the which Shukdev Goswami has already described. All the 14 Manus, who are their respective Manu Putras, the Rishis, Manvantar Avatar, and etc. So in this chapter, one thing which came, I read an article by His Grace Shyamanand Prabhu, so I'll just share that for everyone. There's a nice way to remember it as well. We have a few minutes, so I thought we can do that. So the acronym is MATCH. M stands for mercy. Okay, the pillars of dharma. Guess what A stands for? Anyone? Sorry, M after M is E. Oh no, sorry, it's A. You're right. What does A stands for? Austerity. Yes, we discussed that. Austerity. What does T stands for? Anyone? The 4 pillars of dharma.
Truthfulness.
Truthfulness. Very nice. And C?
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness. Very nice. Compassion is ties to mercy, so we can say here mercy or compassion. Cleanliness. And H is not directly mentioned, but just to complete the acronym, it's a very nice thing to have, is health. So there are regulative principles associated with each of these pillars. Can anyone tell what's the regulative principle associated with mercy?
Not animal killing.
Yes, no meat eating. What does tie to this one? Austerity. Who will tell this one?
Helping others.
So there are 4 regulative principles, right? No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. So which one ties to austerity?
No illicit.
Actually, it's no intoxication.
No illicit sex, Prabhuji.
No illicit sex. Yes, yes, yeah. Truthfulness, yes. Thank you. And truthfulness?
Gambling.
Yes, gambling. No gambling. And the last one?
No intoxication.
Yeah, actually, cleanliness is no illicit sex. And here it's no intoxication. So, and of course, health. So these things we should try to preserve. Mercy, austerity, truthfulness, cleanliness, and health. Mercy means compassion, so not killing others. And it also applies to not speak or do actions which would harm others, which would cause problems to others. It could be speaking harsh words, or because sometimes harsh words can cause bigger wounds than the knives and the swords. So austerity, again, austerity no intoxication is like the gross way, but certainly one should not do that. But also it applies that one should not become intoxicated with other things, like one could be intoxicated with money, one could be intoxicated with wealth or prestige, getting name, fame, recognition. These are subtle intoxications. Same truthfulness, and one should not gamble or try to take risks. Then what's the biggest gamble is to take risk that okay, I'll do this bhakti next time, next lifetime. It's the biggest risk. Sustain with cleanliness, no illicit sex, it's a gross, and of course the subtle is getting desire for name, fame, recognition are compared to subtle desires for sex life. So these are important pillars of dharma, and every sincere soul must try to follow these. These are very, very important. So just thought to share this wonderful. So if we have mercy, compassion, austerity, truthfulness, cleanliness, and health, both in and out, both mental, physical, and most important, spiritual, then the life will be nice and balanced. Simple living, high thinking, these are the essential principles to make spiritual progress. Okay, so move on to the next piece, which everyone is practically waiting for. Can't wait any longer now, right? Is the Kahoot quiz, right? You're all waiting for Kahoot quiz. Okay, so I think you all know the process. The process is very simple. So get two gadgets. One is the one you're seeing or talking to here, and I'll be sharing the screen, and the next one would be your other app phone you have, and you'll be answering from there. So most of you know the drill, but if anyone has a question, feel free to unmute and ask. Okay, so here's the pin for your Kahoot. You have to enter the pin, and it will ask you to enter some name or nickname. So enter that, and then the questions would come from chapter 11 and 12, which we read a couple of weeks back, I believe. And I'm sure you would have studied nicely, so all of you can be on the podium list. Is anyone having difficulties in joining? Please let me know. Oh, a lot of devotees are joining. I'm waiting for everyone to join. Please take part. It's fun. It's interesting. You all will like it. I'm still waiting for a few more devotees to join. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Is anyone needing help or more time to join? Tarun, Krishna, Prabhu, did you join? Silas Prabhu, okay, Anna is there, I see. Vaswati Mataji, RKS, MPD. All the devotees are coming up with unique and very cryptic names. That's hard to comprehend who is who.
Prabhuji, please wait.
Okay, we'll wait for Taira Mataji. G and S. Wow, we're making it. I'm having this quiz like who is who. Is anyone needing more time?
Yes, Prabhuji, I don't know why it's not opening in my another phone. Just 2 minutes.
Sure. Please take your time. Sudhir Prabhu has a whole team, so it will be hard to defeat Sudhir Prabhu today. There are a lot of devotees, all masterminds on one room. Is everyone good? Should we start?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, take your time. Govinda Nandini Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarvasva Sarvakanta Shiromani Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram. Sing, Ayana, sing. What are you singing? Unmute and sing. We want to hear from you. Tell. Don't feel shy.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Wonderful. Your hairs have grown so long.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Oh, very nice. Tarun Prabhu, you ready? Kashish Mataji, you ready?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Who knows the names of the 2 chapters? Who will tell? Without seeing, who can tell the names of the? This is a bonus question, kind of.
King Indra annihilates the demons.
Very
No.
nice.
Murti, bewildered Lord Shiva, and description of future Manu.
Oh, that's later, my dear. You're doing 10 and 11 and 12, not 13 and 14. So future Manus is in 13. Okay, shall we get started? Everyone ready?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, all the best. Okay, I want all of you to be at the first spot. All the best. The 4 options. Okay, when Indra tried to threaten Bali Maharaj, what was his reaction? What was the reaction of Bali Maharaj? He became scared, unagitated, gave up, angry. What happened? Yes, he was unagitated. He was not angry, because in this chapter we see him more as a devotee, actually, in the disguise of a demon. Bali Maharaj said that Indra is not a learned person because, why? He was furious, he was proud of his power, both or none. The answer is he was proud of his power. Indra was proud of his power. The answer, that's the right answer. Okay. Very nice. Let's move on to third. When Dash saw that his friend Bali had fallen, he appeared before Indra to fight. So who was that demon who came to guard Bali when Bali was injured? Yes, Jambasur. The others came a little later, but first came Jambasur. Okay, Vaswati Mataji leading the charts. Ash was Indra's chariot driver. Who was Indra's chariot driver? Varuna, Paka, Matali, Namuchi. Matali, yes. And we discussed, you remember? Matali was sent in the story of Lord Ram also. Before Lord Ram started to fight, Indra sent his chariot and the chariot driver, Matali. Okay. Question 5. Namuchi was killed by what? Namuchi was killed by a wool weapon, foam weapon, sponge weapon, or none of the above. What kind of weapon was used to kill Namuchi? Foam weapon, yes. No solid, no liquid. Yes, it's how foam is kind of mist. Oh, Lakshya moved up. Good job. Question 6. How many Ashwamedh Yagyas are required to be done to acquire the post of Indra? How many Ashwamedh Yagyas? 10, 100,000 or 10,000? 100 Ashwamedh Yagyas. Very nice. Okay. RKSMPD. Is that Sampada? Oh, it's you. Swati Mataji and Sampada Mataji are moving up. Okay, we still have half of the questions, so everyone can come first. Bali Maharaj could accept the death of the demons without getting agitated because he was the devotee of the Lord. He understood that this war was their destiny. He sees the Lord's hand behind that situation, or all of the above. Yes, all of the above. As I mentioned in this chapter, his role is more of a devotee, and he understood this destiny. So why should I try to change it? And of course, the Supreme Lord is the real cause. Question number 8. Nash went before the demigods to stop them from fighting. So who went? Brahma, Narada, Vishnu, or Shiva? Who was that personality who went to stop the demigods from fighting? Narad Muni. Looks like all of you studied this one. You got right. Most of you got right. Okay, moving on to question 9. Dash brought life to all the dead demoniac soldiers who had not lost their hands, trunks, and limbs. Who was that person? Bali, Bana, Brihaspati, Shukracharya. Who brought life back to the Asuras? Shukracharya, yes, the guru of the demons, Shukracharya. Okay, we'll move on to 10th question. Last 5 questions. In a forest nearby, Lord Shiva saw a beautiful woman sleeping, meditating, cooking, playing with ball. What was that woman doing? Oh, that was the picture, was the trick. Mohini Murthy was playing with ball. The picture was tricking. You see, all most of you played meditating. Oh, Sampada Mataji is at 4th place, Swati Mataji at 1st, Ayana 2nd, Lakshya 3rd, Sampada Mataji 4th, and Kṛṣṇa at 5th. Wow. There's close competition. Let's see the last 4 questions. After being defeated by Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva was, what was his state? Ashamed and hesitated, unagitated, unashamed and unagitated. What's the best option? Yes, unashamed and unagitated, because he was defeated by his supreme master. And what's the shame in being defeated by the master? So he was very, like, having pride. Look at my master. Spiritual pride that my master can defeat me anytime. How many Chaturyugas are there in one kalpa? How many Chaturyugas? 10, 100,000 or 10,000? Chaturyuga means cycle of 4 yugas. Chatur means 4. Chatur. Satyug, Dwapar, Treta, and Kali. Yes, 1,000 Chaturyugas in one kalpa or day of Brahma, or half day technically. So 1,000 Chaturyugas. And how many Manvantars? Anyone knows? We will tell how many Manvantars are there. Just read today, the last verse of this chapter.
14.
14 Manvantars, yes. Very nice. Oh, Yana moved up. Swati Mataji has the highest answer streak of 11. Wow. Okay, question 13. The second last question. Lord Shiva was coming back to senses, was totally shameful, was not surprised by the wonderful way the Lord Vishnu acted, was very angry, was regretted. What was his state when he came back to senses? Yes, he was not surprised. My Lord is so glorious. Glorious are his activities, and he can put me into illusion anytime. Question 14, the last question. What lesson one should learn from Bali Maharaj and Lord Shiva? Getting angry on being defeated, blaming others for difficult situations, being uncontrollably happy on victory, being unagitated, and remembering Lord at difficult times. What's the lesson we can learn from these two great personalities in these two chapters? Oh, that's correct. Most of you got it right, that we should be unagitated and remember Krishna at all times. Let's see our podium. Swati Mataji finished at 3rd spot. Lakshya at 2nd spot. And at 1st spot is Yana. Vibhor. See? You sang the Kirtan and Krishna gave you the 1st spot. Power of chanting. Right? Did everyone like it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Wonderful. But congratulations to all, because in bhakti everyone is a winner. No one is a loser. So don't feel disheartened, irrespective of your position. You should be detached from positions, right? So those who didn't get position can learn that lesson. And in bhakti, everyone is special. Okay, so don't feel disheartened. It's fun way to learn, to grow, to engage, to understand. So thank you everyone, to all the devotees for participating.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Granthra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purāṇ ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhaktarinda ki jai. Ancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.